And as that test expired, we paid for a new package. They hadn't linked that to our link. So anyhow, it is all fixed now. It's all good. So apologies for that. Sometimes tech happens. The frustrating bit is to sit there at 2 o'clock knowing that you guys are waiting, not able to come in. So, but here we are. Thank you so much for being so many who can make it today. I have a lot of stuff to update you on. We are in an important phase, as we all know. I apologize for having to check my phone while we are doing this, because we are actually in the middle of a big trade that has to close at 3 o'clock. And because it's live, I have to monitor my phone. So I'm sorry about doing that to you guys. It feels awfully rude. Hope you had a good start to the week. I am going to go through some points here. And I have also, as always, collected a lot of FAQ questions from our country managers. As you guys know, the recurring theme the last weeks has been the fact that we are building on the platform, making changes, and we haven't really given you a straight answer to how things will work. The reason is that we are in a fluid environment in terms of technology. We are trying to make sure that everything works together in a good way. And it feels like constant delays, but now we've actually put a lot of stuff live that I was going to present on Friday to you, and more is being put live today. So the long and the short is that I think it's very important for us to take a step back and look at what we are doing. We are mobilizing more than 4 million people who are holding YAM. And based on this, we're creating what, as you guys know, my ambition is that we become the world's largest market maker, because we have a completely unique concept. We have been taking a lot of strategically important steps, such as being able now to give, this is a new thing, will be in the newsletter, securities and assets on the World Liquid Expo will be able to have their own ISIN code, which is the International Securities Identifier Brokerage account as well, if you don't want to hold them with us. Huge step forward towards being an autonomous exchange, which I think is pretty cool, all powered by YAM and Likquid. And as we are doing this, then obviously as we're doing changes and we're integrating, we hit snags. Technology is not super straightforward. So because of that, it's a little bit frustrating to tell you guys week after week that we have a delay, but we are really getting there. And it is a huge machine we're mobilizing. And we have put a few more things live. So the reason we're pushing some of these things is that we want to make sure that it's 100% right. We started up things this spring, and I wasn't really appreciating the fact that we were so many people. So that meant that we had a lot of manual work to do to manage you. And obviously we know that doesn't work. It leads to unhappy members and, well, business not working. So we want to do it properly this time. And this is what we're doing. Now, that being said, I have some firm updates today on things that have happened. Also, I have put the first instructional video live on Dragon TV, which shows how you trade using World Liquid Expo. This process is now 100% complete. What we're going to add now is additional videos, such as how do you do deposits, how do you withdrawals, and so on. But the first one is out there. And these are generic, so they are not really tied to YAM, but more Dragon as a business and whole, because remember, we are working the general market here as well, the retail market. Now, an important topic to talk about here is how to gradually provide an exit for everybody. As I've been explaining, you are able to trade Likquid freely, and we are bringing Likquid into the ecosystem. And we are bringing external marketing into the ecosystem. However, you need to appreciate the fact that it takes time to build a market. And sadly, because there's a very big selling pressure on YAM, people use this to just exit. It's very important to understand that this is not an instant swap. It doesn't mean that you can sell 100 million over a day here. And we have been trying to educate on this, and I feel that I need to go even deeper on this. However, Likquid is giving you a number of options in terms of generating cash flow. One is obviously that over time, Likquid becomes more and more and more liquid, especially thanks to our mechanisms, but you need to have a little bit of patience with that. The second part is that Likquid actually gives you dividends. You are going to get free assets and shares that are listed and trading for every Likquid token you hold, which means that is the real profit payout from Likquid. And that is, again, very, very important to understand. The third thing is that you can use Likquid for the staking products. That does give you a cash return in US dollars every Friday, which is very important. So I know part of this is that we have been running fast. We've been rebuilding a lot of things. And because of that, you don't have a clear picture. And we are going to work much, much harder on getting this picture clear. We are obviously first focusing on making sure that the system works 110%, all of it, so we don't have any more delays. And this is why we keep holding and holding and holding, because we don't want to create a problem in terms of managing this and the admin and everything. But we are getting there for sure. On the liquidation side, if you look at the staking products, we are, as of now, running with 3 staking products. One is the power staking, which you guys know about, which has been profitable and working 100%. Self-staking, where you can stake your assets, and this is going to go live now in the Dragon wallet. And the long staking, which is a new product, which is really cool because it allows everybody who's holding YAM to actually cash out over time, 100% of their value. The beauty of that one is that it's very safe, it's very simple. It does take time, it takes 5 years, but it is a very, very attractive program as well. So these are the ways that you can generate instant cash flow. But in addition to that, we are adding more use cases to YAM. We have the launch pad for shares. We are going to provide you with the ability to buy listed public shares using 50% of YAM. Again, very attractive way of liquidating YAM. But you have to participate in this process. This means that if you have a 50-50 deal, think about where you can sell it. Find people to buy that deal from you. This is how we generate external liquidity and actually generate external liquidity into the system. So yes, we provide a setting, an arena, and profits for everybody, but it is not an effortless exchange. You have to work with us as well. And this is what we're going to educate you much, much deeper on. So as it comes to the power staking now, for instance, it's great. We have just put it fully live in our system. All the holders have been paid and referees or referrals. So if you don't have, if you haven't checked your email, check your email. You have a link in there where you can activate your account. You have your profits there. You can withdraw them. You can use them, and you can actually see your whole packages in there. And as of very, very soon, like today, tomorrow, you will also have the long staking and the self staking in there. So now it's in one place. Very, very simple. Also, the cool thing is that the power staking now pays sooner, only 14 days or the second following Friday after you activate your package, it starts paying cash, which is very nice. The long staking, on the other hand, allows everybody to participate who might not want to have $1,000 package or more, even smaller packages. So this is going to work very well. Moving on, we have a new listing, P2000 Fastighets AB, Swedish real estate company, is going live tomorrow on the exchange. First official open one listing. There will be an airdrop, which means free shares. Yes, free shares for everybody who's holding Likquid tokens, for everybody who's active in the Dragon wallet. So you need to KYC to access them, but all you need to do right now is to register them, and we are going to allocate them immediately. So do not forget to do that. So, but do not be stressed about finishing the KYC. You only need the KYC to access and transfer them or sell them, but you do need to register. And the beauty of this is this actually hints on the solution to speed things up as we're doing this as well. So P2000, I'll call it just P2000 for now, because the Swedish word is impossible for anybody non-Swedish to explain. It's a beautiful little real estate company. They're doing a development in town. I think it's the fifth largest city in Stockholm. 2 hours south of Stockholm, to be honest. And very serious construction project. Beautiful thing. It's so the share is actually a preferential share, Pref B share. Some of the shares using 50% liquid as well. Sorry, YAM as well. So there will be a 50-50. We call it launch pad. And so this is something very, very nice as well. And tomorrow there will be news about this. Friday the allocation will go out. So strong instructions on that. On the trading in general with Likquid, we are going to restart to take a step back and revise trading rules, but I'm going to talk about that when we come to the FAQ section. Also, Friday's webinar this week, we are going to do an extra session on YAM and Likquid, how they interact with each other. And also, we're going to do a share screen. I'm going to show you how do you make money and value out of Likquid and YAM, because I feel that this is very important to understand. And this is going to be the special theme for Friday. Although next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we're going to do an earners webinar, talking strictly about cash flow, only talking about how you make money using this platform. Very to the point, very easy. And as I said, we are putting systems in place to support you so it becomes easier to work. Also from next week, we will have a point system, means that you have an upside, actually cash upside, to invite people to the webinar. Get the message out, because our problem is to actually explain and make sure the message gets out. Problem is not to make profits for people. We need to make sure that people understand, because we use the mass. This is how we do deals with the companies. They need to feel that there's a lot of people they can talk to. So this is very important. So I'm going to check in with just with the trading team here, and everything is okay. Just 1 second. And here we go. So, okay. Let's see here. We are just adding things up. Okay, cool. So, as always, I'm going to talk about a special topic for today, and then we're going to go into the FAQ section. Today's special topic is buying without money, or actually self-staking. And my third headline was print money. I will explain why. So as you guys know, we have been talking about the various forms of public entities. We've been talking about how you generate liquidity in the asset, in the security, which is important because otherwise it doesn't have any value. But the main point of this is, and this is why a public company is such a strong entity if you want to go for growth and you want to expand, is the fact that you can actually buy stuff without money. Now, I have, over the years, I've done a lot of webinars, I've done a lot of live shows, and I have been grossly misquoted on this. And this goes back to an event in Stockholm in 2013, I think. We did a predecessor to what Likquid is today, where we were actually driving liquidity, generating liquidity in the stock. This stock was on a junior list in Stockholm. It was a IT company that actually turned into a real estate company. And we started using our mechanisms. And It was a very similar club to this, which is actually we're marrying these together. This is coming into Likquid. So we matched up all the numbers perfectly, and the stock took off. It was actually trading in a day. The revenue trading of shares was almost 50% of the total value of the company. It was insane. It just went right through the roof. So at one point, I remember I was actually skiing. I was on vacation. I had no idea. I'm getting called up by the guy who is the head of the market surveillance on the exchange. And he says, "What the hell have you done?" What? Well, what are you doing? What haven't you released? I said, I haven't done anything wrong. And he goes, "Well, something is wrong with your stock." And I hadn't checked the stock for 2 days. I go in and look at it, and I see it just went right through the roof. It was insane. And it turned out that we had actually just gotten the club right. It had gone up from, well, it was maybe 10 times the price in a matter of 2 days, and the liquidity was high. So after that, we had a couple of live events where I was talking about what happened, and I said, well, having a listed stock is good because you can print more stock and you can buy stuff using that. What I meant, and if somebody actually would have listened to my whole session, I was explaining that you can buy new businesses, you can expand. Obviously, the papers put up a headline saying that I said you can print shares and sell and buy stuff. But there's a very important lesson to be learned here, because this is the core essence why you become so strong. Because if you have a liquid stock, you're your own central bank. You print your own money, really. And the key in doing this is the fact that, let's say you have a revenue of 100 million in your business. You identify another business, and let's say, just to make it simple, you're valued to 100 million, you have a revenue of 100 million. You can then go and buy a competitor who has another 100 million in revenue, but maybe you only pay with 50% in shares. So you pay 50 million euros for that. You brought another 100 million. This means that, yes, you have diluted yourself in the company, but you've diluted yourself by 50%, but you have increased your value and your revenue by 100%. That is how you build and acquire. So I actually saw a very interesting thing. There's a guy, all these motivational speakers and these educational things you see on Facebook. And I guess I sort of fall into that section as well, talking to you guys. They do one thing where they only talk about buying businesses without money. And this is sort of the thing, that in doing this, if you have a proper stock, you can just buy and expand. This is just about numbers. This is why you become so strong. And this is a very important thing to understand, because not only to understand to use the tool to grow, if you turn out to become somebody who runs a public company, it's also important to understand this, because then you can read the news from these public companies and put them into context. And thirdly, it also helps you in assessing the value of a business like that, and also appreciate the fact that this is how you can grow something. So there's nothing deceptive about doing that. There's nothing wrong about doing that. Quite the opposite. This is how you run a public company. And a very important thing to ask if you are ever looking into a public company is to ask, what is your acquisition strategy? Because you do not want, well, sometimes you don't do so. This is not entirely true, but in general, you do not want a company to be just let's say an organic growth. Sometimes the organic growth is good enough, but if you actually want some boom in the stock, then you want them to grow through acquisitions. So asking a company about their acquisition strategy is very, very important. So conversely, you could say that this is a way to print money. And fascinating enough, everything about money is actually how you structure products, like financial products, like our staking products. This is about dressing and putting the same kind of mathematics into different contexts. And as it goes for self-staking, it is actually a very similar thing, because you actually print your own liquidity in doing this. It's just that we happen to be the one who steps in between and guarantees certain elements of the process. It's the same thing. So this is very, very powerful. This is something we are going to continue to educate you guys on. We are gradually moving forwards towards expanding our exchange. So we actually provide the whole setting for you as well. And I think this is very important to understand. It shows that once we're in that environment, we start bringing companies in, such as P2000 now coming in, and more of the companies lined up. Then this is a tool that you guys can use for your stuff as well, and for your projects, and for the stuff that you care about. So I think that is very important. Okay, so I hope that gave you a bit of understanding about that too. And now I'm going to go into some operational details, FAQ, and so on. And I'm going to cover some of the stuff that has been sent here as well. Let me start out with some of the boring stuff, and we'll go into the more fun stuff. So I see that some of you are writing about some of the commissions from the Rainmaker missing. And as I said last week, or actually the week before, we are swapping out some of the support team. So some of these tickets are late. I apologize for that. We will get back to that. Also, looking at the processes for the withdrawal, the pending withdrawals of tokens. So this is a recurring thing that has been a problem. I told you guys about the gas fee, and we've actually had a lot of problems with the gas fee, to be honest with you. This is not a technical issue, but because, first of all, some of the deposits have been late, I just said to the tech team, let's just shoot out all the transfers. Yesterday, something is going on the Ethereum chain. So the gas fee now, like last night, was up to $30 to transfer. And obviously we can't do that. We can't do, it just doesn't add up for us. So we're trying to reduce this. What I do know is, however, the other day, we managed to push out most of the transfers. There are a few of these pending. So this is something we're working on very smoothly, very, very shortly. Another thing we have is that inside the Dragon platform, we are going, as we're doing that, that makes it much easier, because then you don't have to we can actually time the gas fee from a technical standpoint much easier, so it'll be faster. So this is actually just a temporary thing, getting your old tokens out. Once we've done this, it's going to work like clockwork, so much simpler. Another thing you're waiting for is fiat deposits in and out, both to pay the gas fee and obviously your withdrawals and so on. Now, as I've told before, we have had serious compliance issues doing this, and I was going to send out a newsletter over a week. The solution is going to be that you run through Dragon compliance. It means that you sign up for the Dragon site for free, doesn't cost you anything, but you use that for compliance, and that is how you take money in and out of the Pernon wallet. Now, as this completes, hopefully in the next day or so, I'm not going to promise too much because I've been wrong every time. We are going to send out instructions and an instructional video how to do this in the same place. At the same time, we are going to provide a free service for the IBAN, actually fixes the IBANs and cards at the same time. So we are actually looking at the one big solution, but I know this is heavily delayed. So it is all interlinked with each other. Let's see here. So I have another question. Where do we sign up at Dragon Global to Swiss real estate shares? Well, I will answer this one live. let's see here. So this is you. I will write this in. You register. You register at dragonglobalfinance.com. There you go. And move your in here. So it will, however, be an instruction well in time. Tomorrow noon latest, that will be out, so everybody will see. And that will be very easy to see. So then you can actually put these together. So we will be very careful about putting together this instruction. Also, in terms of the trading of Likquid tokens, because we had so many people in, people have just put in so many orders, not waiting for the buyers. And based on the advice I've gotten from some of my team, we have decided to restart the trading, and this is to prevent dumping. We have been trying to educate on how this works, and as that is not working 100%, we're going to restart the trading. But we're going to do that in the next few days, very fast. So again, this has to do with how you liquidate people and get them out. So that's that. I'm going to look through some more questions here, and I'm just fiddling through the different screens here. Where is that? There we go. Here we go. I would say also that you can start putting using the packages to cash out by the end of the week. This means the long staking, the power staking, and the self staking as well. Okay, looking for more questions. So some of these questions that we're getting in the chat is they are, oh, thank you, James. So kind of you. So some of the things here are support issues. And as I said, we are struggling a little bit with keeping these up. And hopefully the new support people coming in are going to be able to clear this out. I know this is frustrating sometimes, but as we're very aware of this. On the KYC side, some of these things are late as well. Not very late though. What we have done is we chose not to automate the KYC process because what we found, and here is a negative thing that is actually a positive thing. We have members from so many parts of the world, so it's very hard to automate the KYC process. We actually have to we actually have to do it manually, which means that the KYC might not be done in 24 hours, which is a problem. But otherwise, an automatic system would reject so many, and we can't hire 20 people to do this. We have 3. So because of this, it's taking a little bit of time, but this is not a long delay, so it should be working. Should be fine. But anyhow, our main topic now is just get the platform down, accelerate the withdrawals, cash, tokens, all of this. And this is what we're working very hard on. So I will see you guys again on Friday. We will try to put out the newsletter before then. Last thing, thank you for your suggestion there, Magdi. I agree with you. However, it's I would like to keep the fee down to be more fair to everybody. I think we can find a solution. I actually had an idea during this webinar as I was talking that can make this faster. So we will play with this and try to fix something. So anyhow, guys, bear with me. We are working hard 24 hours a day. Okay, one final thing, Miguel. The letter from Unicorn. Yes, we were actually informed about the letter. This was actually in dialogue with us because we do agree with many parts here, and we are late. However, we are actually moving forward, and we're providing a way to liquidate, which I believe has not been there before. There has not been a plan there. So because of that, it's very important to understand that this is part of the process. So yes, things take time, but we believe that we have actually found a solution that we are delivering on, and it is working. So we are in a very close and friendly dialogue, and we're working together. So this is working well. Okay, guys. So thanks for this. We look out for the news coming out, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I'm going to jump into this trade now, and hopefully we can actually shoot out the new version of the platform. And I hope to see you guys on Friday. Make sure you are there. A lot of stuff coming up there as well. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye-bye.